Signs of early spring are here. The days are longer, the skies are more blue. There is warmth and fragrance in the air. This is my spring capsule wardrobe. There are 13-ish pieces. I am planning to prioritize these pieces over the next 2 to 3 months before the Western Australian heat kicks in for summer. But I will also borrow other bits and pieces from my wardrobe, such as this one-piece bathing suit that I am currently wearing as a top. Loose white cotton pants, and some other bits and pieces. The visual theme for this spring will be contrast. I will mostly be wearing white, black, and little bits of gold. White or cream cotton, leather, and metallics as always. So most of the clothing pieces you will see me styling today are either tops or bottoms made of cotton or a fabric that is similar to cotton in appearance. I'm not going to go through every single piece because I think you probably know my wardrobe pretty well at this point, but I am going to style each of these pieces for you. The shoes I am most excited about are my black boots, my white sneakers, and my ballerinas. Hello! And actually, while we are talking boots, I recently had a question from Carolyn. Thank you so much for asking the question. She asked about my Blundstone boots. And yeah, I do still have my Blundstone boots, but they're definitely really haggard looking. You're not going to see them styled, well, anytime soon, or maybe even ever again here on this platform. They've really become my outdoorsy, let's get muddy boots. I don't actually wear them much in this city. They're basically country boots at this point. The boots that you will see in this video are my presentable city boots. The bags that I am most excited about are the ones that are metallic or have a large metallic element. Those two pieces are my gold metallic bag from ASK, which is an Australian brand, and my little beige Saint Laurent. I really want to make more use of this bag in particular. I've had it for 2 or 3 years now, and I just feel like it does have a tendency to go a little bit dormant. It is a classic, beautiful piece that I still love. That's why I'm styling it here today, so I remember that. Now, if you stay tuned till later in this video, I will give you a whole review of this bag. So the spiritual theme for this capsule wardrobe is I have enough. I have bought so many amazing pieces for my wardrobe over the last couple of years. I'm just excited to use those pieces and get into a little bit of outfit repeating this season. I'm generally not planning to buy a lot over the next few months. I really want to prioritize reusing my favorite pieces this spring. I cannot tell you how excited I am to layer some light pieces again. I mean, I don't have a preference for seasons. I love all the seasons. They each have a beauty about them. They each have a purpose. If you're tuning into the seasons, they bring out different seasons within ourselves, within our lives. But I definitely do get bored of wearing the same things at some point in the season, and I guess that's kind of why I'm making this video today. I'm just excited to style some things that are pretty different to what I've been styling for the last few months. I style a lot of outfits that I don't always get to wear, and now these sort of lighter outfits with cotton are going to be a lot more attractive to wear, a lot more alluring. September, October, sometimes November can still be relatively cool here in WA, so I'll definitely be layering. The fabric swatches for this little season in my life are cotton and leather. I've said goodbye to a lot of sort of flimsy, silky fabrics. I'm just excited to be able to wear things that are practical and resilient, easy to look after as well. So this is a vintage leather jacket that I picked up recently that I'm super excited about. And if you want to know more details about it, you can check out my spring reset series over on Patreon. I'm posting a spring themed video there each week in September. I mean, I don't know that I love it enough to wear it as a proper jacket, like properly on my arms. I think it probably looks better wearing it blogger style, just draped over the shoulders. If you do want to see more content from me, a brand new video goes live over in the Patreon community every Friday morning. As soon as you subscribe to my beautiful Patreon community, you get access to hundreds of videos you can watch over again anytime. If you choose to stay in that community, you help support this body of work. If you don't, that's okay. There is no obligation to pay or stay beyond your first month. And a massive thank you to those of you who are in my Patreon community. It's an opportunity for me to find out more about what you want to see, and of course I get a lot more personal there. Now, I recently did some light alterations on this cream dress, and that's something I do speak about in my Patreon reset wardrobe video. I am really looking forward to wearing it. If you have watched that video, you know, I think I do mention that it wasn't very expensive. I got it on sale. But recently I looked at my wardrobe notes app page, and I realized that it was actually a lot more expensive than I remembered it being. So I'm definitely now committed to making more use of this dress. So I've chosen two pairs of comfortable shoes that I think look really good with my YSL handbag, the black boots and the white sneakers. Obviously the white sneakers are a little bit more casual. The black boots may be a little bit more edgy. But I'm wondering, do you think the handbag looks better with the white sneakers or the boots? Please do let me know in the comments. I am excited to revive this old Organic Basics t-shirt that I've had for years now. I will link a more updated model of a boxy tee in the description box. I'm sure it will not surprise you or shock you at all to know that I am excited about very simple silhouettes. This t-shirt is just so good. It's just a nice cotton. I really like the more masculine shape. I really like the casualness of a loose tee. Oh, loose tee, as in yum yum yum. Okay, but I digress. A loose t-shirt. There's something really cool and easy about a loose white t-shirt. A simple black bottom, such an easy thing to style, but I think it really captures the essence of my life moment right now. I have really committed to my soft coastal winter era. I really didn't do a huge amount over this winter. I really just stayed close to home. But now that it's getting warmer and I've recovered somewhat from the dramas of last year, I'm actually feeling excited about emerging. And I'm feeling excited about doing things that I haven't really done in a long time, like spending time in the city. I have been avoiding the city like the plague. I mean, I've been a few times this year, but it hasn't been often. I've just been finding the idea of going into the city to be just too much. But now that spring is coming, I know there are a few events coming up in the city. I'm actually excited to go explore and find some new restaurants. My proximity to the city is also a lot closer than it was when I lived in Fremantle. And most of you don't know this, but through most of my 20s, I lived really central, really close to the city, walking distance to the city. So I was a real urban girl back then. This year, I'm actually excited to change things up and spend more time as a city girl. So you'll probably notice that the looks that I have presented here today are maybe a little bit more urban than what I usually do. These outfits are mostly intended for going to events and being able to walk around in this city. I want them to be casual and comfortable, but at the same time, well, lazy glam as always, but at the same time kind of just a little bit edgier, I guess. So I haven't really spent a lot of time testing the versatility of the individual pieces that I've shown you here today, but I'm sure that there are some really great combinations that maybe aren't necessarily black and white. Maybe they're more monotone in this case. There is a difference. And I'm sure that there are some great black and black combos here. So if you have spotted any great combos that you think I should experiment, please do drop me a line. Something else I am tossing up is to wear this leather jacket as kind of a little bit of a shirt, as in some of the buttons are done up, some of them aren't, but then just wearing it basically as a top. Yeah, let me know which of these pieces that might work with. Also, just let me know if you want me to experiment with that look at some point, and I might pop it in a future video. Now, I spoke earlier about my YSL bag. What I want to present for you here today is a little bit of a review of this handbag. Tell you all the details about it, seeing as I am planning on reviving her somewhat this season. All right, what are we doing here today, babe? We are talking about my Cassandra handbag, my YSL Saint Laurent Cassandra top handle mini in beige. I have had this bag for a year and a half now. I think if you're going to get one, there are some things that you need to know before you commit. I love this handbag in some ways, but in some ways, let's be real, a YSL handbag is a bit of an investment. It might impact your decision to get one. Shall we start with the pros? Let's start with the awesome things about her. Let's do a story time. I actually bought her from the Saint Laurent store online. Oh, it's covered in cat fur, so try to disregard that. I'm not sure that you get all the packaging if you don't buy it through the YSL online store. And this is her, this is my baby. So she is a mini. Her measurements, you might have to consult. How dare you? For her full measurements, definitely consult the website, but I believe she's around 20 centimeters in length and 16 centimeters in height. I got the textured finish, and I personally prefer the slightly textured finish than the smooth. I don't know, there's something about these really thick luxury leathers where the smooth just kind of, like, it's so smooth that it almost looks like a bit plasticky. So I actually prefer the ones that have a slightly textured, sort of a little pebble, a tiny minute pebble finish. Now she's obviously a neutral, and I bought her at a time where my wardrobe was a bit more this toned. So I was a little bit worried when I started committing to a different palette in my wardrobe that she would maybe become redundant, but actually I'm finding that she still looks really great with cooler tones and black. Another pro definitely is it's a very classic style. It's a very classic shape, easy to look at. The top handle means that it just looks quite timeless. You could buy this handbag now and wear it 20 years in the future or 50 years in the past. It will still look cute. Now, in terms of having the little clasp, I like that my things are well protected in there, and I think another pro is that this is very easy to do and undo. I have tried other handbags that have more complicated things going on, and it's a nightmare. I am one of those people who are always digging around in their handbag. They're always pulling something out or putting something in. So having this really easy to deal with clasp, I just like doing that also. Such a satisfying sound. What do we call this? The lid. Nothing's gonna fall out. There are no spaces for things to fall out, so it's quite secure, which is another benefit, especially if you are traveling somewhere that's a little unsafe, or you live somewhere where you could get pickpocketed. That won't happen. Well, I mean, it totally could happen with this handbag, but it's less likely to happen. Imagine putting their tiny little hand in there, tiny little robber. Oh. Another great benefit of this bag is that it looks great as a crossbody. There are other styles of handbags that come with a strap, but they just don't look very good as a crossbody, and I think this bag does. It just balances really nicely, so you can wear it both ways. It's versatile in that way as well. You can take this off, or you can hide it inside the handbag and just wear it as a top handle or a crossbody. Another great thing is that the gold hasn't oxidized. You don't want to sort of spend all this money and then within a few months it's all like coppery looking. Another point that I really love about this bag and that I really need to stress is that the quality of the leather is amazing. It is so thick. It is like virtually indestructible, and I can guarantee that because I am someone who is very uncoordinated. So I'm really impressed that I have managed not to destroy this. The exterior of the handbag is perfect. And by the way, I don't know if this is a thing, but it also hasn't faded in any way. The color hasn't changed in any way. There's no peeling, not to name specific brands, but if you spend $10,000 on a handbag and within a little while the leather is, or layers of the paint or whatever they use is stripping off, that is not good, babe. With this, like, it is in perfect condition. I will say the one spot there has been a little bit of wear and tear is, I don't know if you can see that. I've recently adjusted the strap. So that was where the strap was inside that little square bit and that finding. So it has like a little bit on the edges worn away there from pressure. But aside from that, I mean, that probably could be fixed if I really wanted to deal with that, but it's so very unnoticeable to me. The other thing that's great in terms of quality is the structure of it is not breakable. You know, I like to travel light, and when I recently went to Europe, this bag was shoved into my tiny little carry-on. Eventually, I put some things inside it so it would sort of remain in its shape. But when I first packed, I didn't put anything inside it. So I literally just crammed it in its bag, and then I had things on top of it Oh, it's got those cute little golden feet too, doesn't it? Oh, adorable. You know, make sure that it's not touching any surfaces because it's too fancy for that. Yeah, I put an enormous amount of weight either side of this bag, and structurally she is still competent and fine. Nothing has happened. A part of me was wondering, oh my God, is she just gonna like cave in at the back, or is the bottom gonna break or something like that? But it's so solid. Those are all the pros. And now, as much as I love her, these are some realities you must be able to face. So I've just told you how structurally sound she is, but because of that, she's also quite heavy. Like not heavy, but I can feel the weight. So if I fill her up, I can sort of, like after a while, feel her weight if I'm wearing her as a crossbody, and she is a her, so don't come at me. She can be quite heavy, okay? So she is made out of a very thick leather. You know, there are some elaborate, heavier findings and all this, you know, all this stuff. It's not flimsy, plasticky stuff. Like it does feel like real heavy metal. She can be a little bit heavier when worn as a crossbody, but that's not really the big issue. So my phone is a 13 mini and it will fit in here comfortably. I don't have it on me. 13 mini is probably about the maximum. So keep that in mind. If you have a larger phone and you want to be able to carry that around in your handbag, you're definitely going to need to size up and get the next size up, because this is the mini and she's little. This is one of my issues with the bag. You open it up and you can see that there is a division almost right in the middle there. And that is a solid piece of leather, I think, in the middle there. So that is actually quite limiting. If you are someone who wants to have a few different things in there, or for me, like I want to pack a compact, tiny little camera in there. That's not my phone, which is thicker. I mean, I've done it, but I shouldn't be doing it because I could potentially destroy the bag. Maybe I should just get bigger bags. No, don't change for anyone. It would be really great if they took that big division out of there. I don't think you need to be able to organize things in a bag this small. I think you would benefit more from having that space not divided up, so you have more versatility with what you can put in there. Another little con, if you were to be someone who used the card holders, because there's a card, well, not the card holder. Is it a card holder? I guess it's a little pocket, little card pockets. Look, I can't show you in there because it's too dark. I carry the authenticity info with me just in case anyone ever asks. I'll be like, here's the certificate. That's quite tight in there, that one little pocket. If you get something in there, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get it out again. So I would say that that is almost like a redundant, that little pocket. It's just there for the sake of having one. Look, you could probably stick one card in there. If you angle it right, you might be able to get it out again. If not, too bad, it's lost in there forever and they're gonna have to hacksaw the whole thing up to get it out. Let's get into the crux of what the biggest con of this handbag is. It is the strap. So getting the strap on and off is, my friend, an absolute nightmare. There's a reason why the strap is on right now. Basically, I don't want to have to take it off. I don't want to demonstrate me taking it off again either, so hopefully I'll be able to dig out the footage of me opening it previously. Take this off, you move that off, and then you have to like... Oh, I did it. With all that unnecessary intro, I did it. Look, I did it, but it was really hard, and you can see it looks a little bit manky now. When I first got this bag, I really wanted it, but that was the bother. I was like, oh my God, am I gonna be able to? So it's pretty hard to get back on as well. Oh my God, let me try to squeeze it in there. All right, it's happening. We're getting it. Oh my God, we're getting it. It's done. Okay. So that is the first issue with the strap. I could see that you might break it. I'm manhandling her now because I've had it for a year and a half, but that is an issue, I think, in my opinion. There just needs to be a little bit of adjustment with the size of the little knob or the little hole that the knob goes into, so that you don't have to go to the gym to work out for 6 months to be able to get that strap off. And the other issue that I have with the strap is that I think there needs to be a shorter adjustment hole, because I like to wear my crossbodies up quite high, and this comes below the hip, which I think is too low for me. I would really like the option of being able to wear it higher up. Someone's probably gonna say I can take it to a leathersmith and they can put another hole in it for me. But I don't know. I feel like if you've paid thousands of dollars for a bag, you should have that little bit of versatility built in there. And I kind of understand why they've done it. They've done it this way, obviously, because it's an aesthetic thing. Like, it would look pretty hideous to have this long ass thing here with like a million holes. But I just do think they've miscalculated the length of a woman. How long are the women? Like, are all the women that are buying this handbag like 6'3"? I don't know. I think like I'm wearing it at the shortest length, but that, in my opinion, could be the longest length. You know what I mean? I know I have a short upper body, but come on. Come on. Oh. Well, that was a mouthful. I hope you've enjoyed my little critique. Be sure that if I do get another fancy handbag, I will do an unbox or a chat about it in some way. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, and subscribing to my channel. I'll see you soon.